Morning students, today we will study the structure of bacteria, typical bacterial cell. So the external cell wall, structure external to the cell wall and structure internal to the cell wall. Structure external to the cell wall, the structure that are external to the cell wall are glycocalyx, flagella, axial filament, fimbriae and pili. Glycocalyx, it is a sticky, gelatinous material that collect outside the cell wall to form an additional surface layer. When this layer is firmly attached to the surface of the cell, it is called capsule. If it is loosely distributed around the cell, the glycocalyx is called a slime layer. Capsule may play the following role. They prevent desiccation of the cell under adverse condition. Capsule protect the pathogenic bacteria from the host phagocytic cell, thereby contributing the ability of a bacterium to cause disease. Glycocalyx made up of sugar is called an extracellular polysaccharide. It enables a bacteria to attach to the various surface. Flagella. The most common organelle of mortality in bacteria is the flagellum. The number of flagella per cell and their distribution around the cell are characteristic features of different groups of bacteria. Bacterial cells have four arrangement of flagella: monotrichous, a single flagellum attached to one end of the cell; amphitrichous, a single flagellum or tuft of flagella to each end of the cell; Lophotrichous, several flagella at one end of the cell; and peritrichous, flagella distributed over the entire cell. The non-flagellated bacteria are called atrichous. Almost all spiral bacteria and about half the bacilli are motile. On the other hand, the cocci are non-motile. Bacterial flagella has three basic parts: the filament, the hook, and the basal body. The filament, unlike the eukaryotic flagella, lack a definite membrane. It is composed of usually three or more longitudinal fibrils of fibrous protein. The flagellum twists together into a helix that has a hollow core. The typical eukaryotic flagellum is enclosed in an outer membrane and consists of 9 pairs of fibrils surrounding a core of 2 fibrils. Bacterial flagella are very different from the eukaryotic flagella in both the construction and the mode of action. They are much thinner, and instead of being projected from the cell interior, they are attached to the cell surface. Eukaryotic flagella whip back and forth while the flagella move by the rotatory motion, much like a propeller of a boat. The basal body acts as a rotator motor that causes motion in the flagellum. Axial filament. Spirochete are a group of bacteria that moves by means of axial filament or endoflagella. This type of movement is similar to the way a corkscrew moves through a cork. Axial filament have a structure similar to that of flagella. It is corresponds composed of two groups of fibers which originate at opposite end of the cell and overlap in the middle. Fimbriae and pili. Many gram-negative bacteria possess a number of hair-like structures that are shorter, straighter, and thinner than flagella and are used for the attachment rather than for motility. These structures, which consist of a protein called the pilin, are divided into two types, fimbriae and pili. Fimbriae can occur at the pole of the bacteria or they can be evenly distributed over the entire surface of the cell. Like the glycocalyx, fimbriae enables a cell to adhere to the surface, including the surface of other cell. The pili are usually longer than the fimbriae and the number only one or two per cell. Pili help in the process of sexual mating prior to transfer of DNA from donor to recipient. For this reason, they are called sex pili. Thank you.